Absolutely. Flip me off all day. I don't care. Ooh. Seriously? Go ahead.
Vaya con Dios.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't care. So the point is that it seems okay. Now there's another couple of interesting stories that for me, because I'm always trying to gauge, is anything changing? And I told you a couple last week about things that had happened with people who were, like people who had been strongly Trumpy and now were saying things to their spouses that they had never said before, right? Here's an interesting one. You guys know Amy? Remember Amy?
Yes.
Purple hair, used to sit here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we go to lunch every couple weeks, check in, see how life is. And she was telling me that she has a lot of family who are like mine, other side. Mm-hmm. And so she was saying, oh, come on in. Just wait, I'm going to finish the story. So she was saying that her husband likes to go to this one restaurant in Eau Claire. And they've been going there forever. And it's a tiny restaurant, little hole in the wall. And she said, there are always signs in all the windows for Republicans, Trump, MAGA candidates, and all kinds of stuff like that. And inside, in this tiny little hole in the wall, there are 4 TVs, and they're all blaring Fox News. So she told her husband, for years, I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. Finally, last week, she caved in. He said, come on, I really want to go. She said, we walked in, there was not one sign in a window, and there were no TVs on.
Wow.
And it's been like that for 6 years. I said, did they change ownership? No, same people waited on them. Okay, for me, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That is a big clue to me. So you guys keep watching for those kind of things because they're out there. They really are out there. Okay, so which brings me to, I do think we're making a difference, and they're coming our way. They're just slow and stubborn, like all of us, right? Are we easy to change our minds? No. All right, so now, Preston, I'm going to jump in a minute. Okay, so now I think I'm going to show you something fun. I hope so. I think, let me see. Oh, wow, yeah. Up here, just so you know, that's a bad header. I didn't change the header. Okay, so we're going to start with you guys remember Aaron? You remember Aaron Zook, right?
Yep.
Okay, so InDesign has decided it wants to make an appearance. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm going to let you get your food, and then I'm going to do Aaron. Get your food. Go get your food. Hurry up.
It's a video.
It's a video. Get going.
Our lifestyle change.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
Aren't you hungry? Or you just being good?
You guys can stop. Hey, we're in good shape. That's what we're going to talk tonight. We're in good shape.
So we talk.
I'm not lying, but thank you, Doug.
It's our job to keep it that way.
I know, but you guys, it's really awesome. We are doing good. I will be the first one to say I was scared when 2 weeks ago we had $185. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pay the rent this month? And now, I've been paying for a long time.
It's not the first time.
Yeah.
Hey, people in the chat, we are just getting our pizza now, and I'm trying to figure out how to move this darn window. Oh, hi, Holly Hardy. Richard, what? And I ate 2 pieces of toast before I came, so I wouldn't be hangry. You know?
Steak and.
And if we need more pizza, because there's 1 week I ordered too light and people went hungry, just tell me, we'll get another one. Jeez, what kind of Midwest host am I if you guys go hungry? Okay, you're gonna like this, I'm telling you.
We're gonna like.
And if you don't, it's okay, you can tell me.
We're gonna like Aaron.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. Well, and you're gonna hear another thing we're up to, because we gotta be up to something all the time. That was my #1 goal with this group, was to be nimble and responsive. And we are that, nimble and responsive. Or perhaps just mercurial and changeable, but I'll take nimble and responsive. Aren't you two gonna eat something? You two. Are you gonna, yes, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at you.
Eventually. No.
Eventually?
Yeah. Well, let the line go through.
Oh, yeah. I hate standing too. I know people walk from down here up to here. I always drive and I'm like, I always feel guilty and kind of hide my head. You know? But I'm a little on the lazy side.
Yeah, nice to yourself.
I only have one bad knee. There is a cheese one there and a veggie. Did you want any? You good? Okay. I've started a Substack, and in my Substack, I write about a lot of these kind of things, my observations about what's happening up here. So the bulletproof vest story is in a Substack. So if you look up, if you go in Substack, huh?
What's the title of your Substack?
Disquiet on the Northern Front. Disquiet on the Northern Front. And so mostly I write about us. Mostly I write about what's happening with us, how I'm feeling about it. The last one I did was about how hard it is, how I'm struggling. You know, I counted the days, it's 243, it seems like forever. And on and on and on. And then I started thinking about how long the English were at war with the Germans. And one of my friends, her mom used to tell the story how they couldn't afford pantyhose during World War II. So they would take a pan of gravy and run a coin in it and then run it up down the back of their legs so it looked like they were wearing hose.
And dogs would come up.
And dogs would lick their legs. And I thought, man, we are not to the pantyhose, gravy pantyhose yet. You know, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm so upset about. You know, how long did it take? How many years? And yes, I don't want it to take that many years, but it's going to take what it's going to take. And either we're in the fight, and if we don't want to, we can quit. We get to quit. I have an excellent therapist who always tells me, you can quit, Cindy. When I'm really grumpy, I call her or text. And she says, you can quit, Cindy. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not quitting. Yeah, she knows just what to say. All right.
Just like the.
When Kamala Harris lost the battle, Cindy was really depressed. She threw herself on the floor and cried quite a bit. See, I'm talking about myself like Trump does. Anyway, so I called Aaron, Methodist minister Aaron. And there, I need to talk to somebody. Will you meet me for coffee? And he wanted to meet in a public place, I'm sure, because he was terrified because I didn't sound good. Anyway, so we met and he told me this story. And I haven't been able to shake it. And so I reached out to a couple of my friends who are filmmakers and I said, let's turn this into a movie. And let's get this out there. And they said, after they watched it, oh, hell yeah. And then they said, and what we're going to do is start with a smaller version where it's him telling the story and then we cut to the other, and then we're going to build it up and do the other scenes and then go with the full version. But we're going to see if there's an interest if people like it and respond. So you guys are our test market.
Oh.
Okay? So we'll see what you guys think. Plus, I think there's something awesome for us to hear and learn and see. Can you folks in there see it? Can you give me a thumbs up? You guys can see my screen, right? Richard, can you see my screen? Okay, good. All right, here we go. This is my little speaker. Hopefully it works.
Okay. Hi, my name is Aaron Zook, A-Z-O-A. And it's important to say at the beginning that this story is not my story. This is a story that I learned in a class at UW Eau Claire from a history professor. And it's the story of his time receiving his master's degree in Wittenberg, Germany. This professor studied history his entire life as a young man, as a child, and in college. And in particular, he was interested in European history of all kinds, but most notably European history in Germany.
I zoomed in.
The Eastern Bloc. And because of that, he went to Wittenberg University to receive his master's. When he When he arrived there, he was looking for a place to rent where he wouldn't be surrounded by 18 or 19-year-olds, which is a normal thing to feel when you're going for an advanced degree. And so as he went through Wittenberg, he found a place, a house, a small house that had a room to let. And when he looked into it, the room was actually the top floor of the house. So it was its own room with a small kitchenette, a small bathroom, and a little patio. And he took very quickly to spending his afternoons out on the patio with a pint of beer and a record playing and doing his studies. And in the entire time that he had been staying there, for the first year and a half, he always spoke to the wife of the couple who lived in and owned the house. Always the wife, never the husband. Every morning, he would be up getting ready for his classes and for his studies, and he would hear the husband leaving the house, and he would watch the husband in his overcoat and his fedora stomping down the street. And every afternoon out on the patio with his drink and his music and his books, you would see the husband in his overcoat, his fedora, stomping back with a very grim look on his face. And every time the husband came back, he would yell out, hello, guten Abend, whatever it might be, and he would get nothing in response. And then one day when he had been more than halfway through his studies, he was out on the patio, particularly warm day, a nice soft warm breeze flowing, the sun was still out, it was getting late in the year, but it was one of those sort of wonderfully warm days. And he was out there, he dragged the entire record player out onto the patio, and he was listening to some of his favorite music. And he had a tall glass of cold beer and a stack of books in front of him. And he looked up at one point and saw the husband, the overcoat and the fedora, stomping his way down the sidewalk. And as he looks, he sees that the husband has a slightly different look on his face. It seems to be even more angry somehow. And as the husband gets close to the house, he stops and looks directly up. And he yells out, that's the Berlin Philharmonic. That's Beethoven's Fifth. And it was recorded in Berlin in 1938. And the professor, this being the first words that he's ever heard from this man, was shocked and astonished. And he had to check the record album. And he said, yes, it is. And the husband says, it's one of my favorites, but the ninth is better. And the professor yells down, come up and listen. I'll pour a beer. And the husband comes up, pours a beer. They sit and they listen to the rest of the album. And the husband sits there quietly, but obviously happy, content, and they listen through the whole thing. And at the end of it, the husband starts talking to him specifically about Beethoven, specifically about the Berlin Philharmonic, and how much he loves classical music. And they get into a conversation, and they're finally talking, finally interacting with each other. And as the conversation goes on, and the husband seems to be growing comfortable and a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more friendly, the professor finally asks, were you living here in this house during the war? And the husband said, yes. He says, were you living here before the war? And the husband says, yes, we've always lived here. And he says to the husband, I know this is strange, but I have to ask, what was it like living here as the Nazis rose to power? What was it like living here during the war? And the husband's response was, it was wonderful. And the professor says, were you aware of what was happening? And the husband says, let me tell you what I was aware of. In Germany, we had moved from farming in all sorts of separate fields, in a disconnected grouping of people over the span of 70 or 80 years into a united country, united by the Industrial Revolution, united by all of the different Germanic tribes we pulled together, united by the idea of a Germany that we all belong to, that we all came from. And in the middle of that, we all started moving into cities, taking jobs, and working in places like the factory where I lived. And he says, every morning I would get up, My wife would make me breakfast, I would eat the breakfast, I would kiss her on the cheek, I would put on my hat, and I would walk up wearing the dirty overalls that I needed to wear on the factory floor. And as I walked down the street, I would pass the doctor, I would pass the lawyer, and I would say, "Guten Morgen, Guten Morgen," and they would walk right by without seeing me. And I would get to the factory and I would work all day, and at the end of the day, tired, exhausted, burnt, I would walk home and I'd say, "GoPro," and I would see the doctor and I would see the lawyer, and I would say, "Guten Abend, Guten Abend," and they would say nothing, walk right past them. And then Hitler was elected into office. He became the chancellor, and the National Socialists started changing. And one of the things they changed was they passed a law that factories had to have changing rooms, lockers, showers. And suddenly, in the morning, my beautiful wife would make me breakfast. I would eat, I would kiss her on the cheek, I would put on my hat and my suit and my overcoat. And I would walk down the street and I would pass the doctor and I would pass the lawyer, "Guten Morgen." And they would say, "Guten Morgen." And I'd say, "Guten Morgen, Guten Morgen." And they saw me. And I would go to work and I would change into my grubby clothes and I would work all day and at the end be just as exhausted, but quick shower, back into the suit, the hat, the overcoat, back into the street, the doctor and the lawyer, "Guten Abend, Guten Abend, Guten Abend, Guten Abend." And that was life then. Suddenly, I had been elevated where the doctor and the lawyer and all of the most important people in town could see me as a man, just like them. They could respect me. They would talk to me in the streets. And it was like that every day, except when I would go to work. And when I got to the door, the foreman would say, "No work today. We've cleared the work floor. We have a special event." That first day, he walked into the work floor. And instead of all of the machines up and running, they were all cold and silent, and space had been made for the orchestra, who sat in the work floor, where they, day after day after day, grubby, sweaty, hot, burnt from all of the steam. Instead of doing that work, they listened. They listened to the Philharmonic playing Beethoven's Ninth. It's his favorite song from that day forward. When the professor asked him, what was it like to live here as the Nazis took power? What was it like to live here during the war? Did you know what was happening? His response was, yes, we knew what was happening. We'd heard it. But how could it be true? How could the people who took a day of work from me and replaced it with Philharmonic playing my favorite song, how could they also do these things? How could these things be true when these people who elevated me, so the doctor and the lawyer said Guten Morgen, Guten Abend, how could they also do these horrible things? Did we think it was fair? Not really. Did we think it was good? Of course not. Did we believe them? No. Just calm. Just calm. Because the people who made us men amongst men, the people who brought the greatest things of the world to us, they couldn't possibly also be doing those things. This is how someone can do awful things and a normal, wonderful, good man or woman can absolutely allow it to happen. Because what they see is how they are finally being seen, or they are being elevated. And it's easy to believe that all of those things aren't real, aren't truly happening. In the telling of this story, the professor tells us that it's at this point that the husband stops being happy. stops being friendly in the conversation. Starts to regain that dour, angry, bitter face. He gets very, very quiet. He finishes his beer. And he leaves the patio. He goes back to his. For the following year and a half, as the professor is finishing his master's degree, he still hears every morning when the husband is getting up and leaving to go on his prolonged walk. Every afternoon, he is still out there and sees the husband come back. They never again have an afternoon of Beethoven playing on the record player. They no longer have another conversation over a cold beer. The only change is that the husband from then on the way back, when he sees the professor on the patio, looks up and says, "Guten Abend."
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna stop it there for a minute. What I'm saying, Kim, is here, when you told me this story, there was another little 2-minute piece on the end. So when we do this for real, I'm gonna want you to do that. So I'm just gonna tell you, because we just talk about it then. And he says, okay, all right? And what the 2-minute piece was, you can go back and control now. What the 2-minute piece was, he said, and then the professor, this professor normally at Orlowski, came to, yep, you know, didn't you? I know.
Not surprised.
Is it
Nope.
Ron?
Yeah, Ron,
Ron.
yeah. See, you guys know. I know, Ron Orlowski. I did a lot of history. I was so. Anyway, so he said, normally he came to school in a suit, but on this day he was dressed almost like a brown shirt, brown pants, jacket, whatever. And he said to them, now imagine, if you will, that someone came in and said to you, you are the future of this university. You are the future of this country. We're going to pay for your tuition, all of it. Not only that, we're going to take care of your room and board because you are our future. And let's say they take you into a room next door and there's a table, the most incredible food. Steak, shrimp, fruit, fresh cooked, right? And you see all that. And they say, and then what the professor did is from his jacket, he pulled out a giant Nazi flag, swung it out, and said, now who of you will say no? Okay. All right. Fabulous. You can just close that. Red dot. What do you think? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? I can tell you the most important thing I saw, but I want to hear what you guys think first.
Well, I was just thinking about what Germany is called in Spanish.
Yeah?
Alemán.
Yep.
I think that's significant to what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Germany is Alemán in Spanish. Okay, what else?
They were seen for the first time.
Thank you. And you know what I think is really incredible is after that, the professor saw him. Here's the thing, after living through that and not being seen and hating it so much, that professor lived in his house for a year and he never looked at him or said anything to him. And then after they talked, he saw him. And now he has to greet him because he sees him. Which to me leads to the corollary of, and what does this mean to Chippewa Valley Indivisible? Does anybody want to say anything else before I say? You guys want to say anything? How did you feel? I see the sadness for me, like I see willful ignorance. Don't you see willful ignorance? Of course they do. You see that? Do we see willful ignorance? Do we? Okay, I mean, it's like everything about it was like, right? The thing for me about Chippewa Valley, what it means to us is, it only keeps bringing home to me how very important it is that we see each other. We need to see each other. They need to be seen, we need to be seen, we need to see each other. You know? That's the thing for me. I was like, oh my God, all the stuff we're trying to do. So that's why I went from mission and the, 2026 and building to this. Because it's like, we need to, it just keeps becoming more important. Like, we need to see each other. We've stopped seeing each other. It's like even everything that's going on with all the shootings now and everything that's happening, it's just like, So anyway, did you like it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
That's very close.
So we think we're gonna shoot it at, what's the chapel by Half Moon? Come on.
The cemetery one?
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
What one?
Something Borland and something cemetery, the chapel. Holds about 100 people. We think we're going to shoot there, get 100 people in there, tell the story. That's where we're going to put it together. I'm really excited about it. The other thing I'm going to do is, for those of you that don't know, Mary Landbeer's parents are here. They came in for the wedding, and her father was saying how much what's going on now reminds him of Germany. So next Thursday, I'm going to go sit with him and record a few hours of that to see his reflection, because he grew up during that period, to see what else, if that will bring some more light and clarity and get the project. So this is my fun thing I'm doing, but I also think it says some stuff and has us see things. Anybody else got anything? You're so quiet. Yeah.
If you're wanting to follow up more on that, this is where my wife's family came from and what they went through, and her relatives over there who I know well and other friends that I've known well. I'll talk to you later. But
Talk to me, yeah.
I wasn't sure if this is a one-time.
Well, I don't know what I think it is, but it feels like it touched me, and I've been carrying it around since November. And anybody I've shown it to, or either told the story, God help them, told the story, they sit through me telling it, or showed them the recording. Everybody really is like, that's powerful, and they see stuff. Now, I don't know if it makes me feel a whole lot better. I don't know if it makes me feel a whole lot better, but at least it's something to look at, huh?
Well, when I was watching it, I got that that's why these people like Trump so much, is he sees them and has made them feel important and special, and
Yes.
they're not willing to give that up.
Yes. Yes. And so I know. And so what do we do about that?
What do we do about that?
And this, I think, comes back to, if they only feel seen by him, not us. See, that's why I keep coming back to, they see them, they elevate them, they include them. Like, how do we do this? I don't have a fix. If I had the answer, I'd be a genius.
Well, you gave a free party in the park for them.
I know. We did give a free party in the park. I mean, we you know what I mean? We're trying to let people know, and we've got really, the things that I've heard from, I know we did what we intended to do. How do we do it bigger? Anyway. Or are we just going to go through 8 years of it and have 4 years of war? I hope not. Anyway. I know. City, stop being a buzzkill. Yeah, Sarah.
Watching it, I get the part about being seen, but
Yeah.
I don't see the other part of it, of them actually making their lives better.
Well, for him,
The bubble I'm in, I don't see anyway that they're making their lives better other than being seen.
If they say they're going to.
but I mean, he's now got a shower at work. They have more money. And see, the thing that goes with it, believe it or not, this story came from Bridget. You ready? This story came from Bridget. No, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to go. So what happened is, and if you studied, I get it's not in the film for you, but in Germany, what would happen is, when they would take the Jews out, suddenly houses were available, jobs were available. There was a lot of stuff that was available, and their lives elevated fairly quickly. They suddenly now they were at war, and there was a lot of other stuff, but there was also 6 million people gone, so they had their jobs, their houses, and all the other stuff. And it's interesting, because a young woman I know who worked in nursing homes, said there was a German woman who was near dying, and she was just kind of talking about stuff, and she was saying to her one day, and to me this says so much, yeah, I grew up, in Nazi Germany, and I always feel like I should feel guilty and confess, because I was 8 years old, and every Thursday the train came through, and they would throw off all the clothes and all these kinds of stuff. And we knew where it all came from, but I didn't care, because I needed new shoes and wanted a jacket. And she goes, and so I guess I don't know how to ask for forgiveness, because I'm not really sorry. Yeah.
I literally just finished a book. I think it's called Garden of the Beasts, but it was a story about a New York hitman who's been summoned to go over and take out this top Nazi fellow who was a big war creator. Well, anyway, one of the things was that, number one, when you demonize the other, you feel, whether that's subconscious or in your face, that really has a huge impact on you. And then you want to also join, be part of the gang and so on. And then in the end, it talks about this fellow that they were trying to kill who literally was gassing, doing experiments on young men who would be the best people to be able to, mow people down and so on. Well, anyway, at first he starts to feel a little guilty, and then he starts going, but it's for the fatherland, it's for the greater good. So somehow you do get sucked into all of that also.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to say, Sarah, is they were at war. Their lives were hard. And I think if you look at some of our folks here, their lives aren't that much better, but they are hanging on. And they are even taking, like the tariffs and all the other stuff, and they're paying more for groceries, but they still somehow feel like they're winning.
That's what's so hard to understand though, because I don't know what Trump is doing to elevate their life situation.
They do feel seen. They feel like they won. Their guy is in. It's like their guy is in. And he is punishing the people they don't like.
Yeah.
He is punishing the people they don't like.
Like the punishing, that's what it is.
Yeah, the punishing is, they like,
It's all about winning and losing.
And it is. We live in a binary society. Anyway, we don't have any of the solutions. I just thought it was fun. Yeah. And let us talk about it in a different way.
Just in seeing the Saturday after Charlie Kirk was murdered or assassinated, whatever you prefer. Killed, because I think assassination is an elevation, but
Killed.
the murder thing and whatever. I believe you went by in the cars.
Yep. Can I tell this? You want to stand up and tell it, or you want me to? Go ahead.
I always count numbers of people. 62 people appeared on the roundabout where we stand, like tonight. We had never seen before. 3 of us stand on Peace Circle. Carl introduces the crowd with Honk for Peace and runs some errands, and then Larry, Charlene, and I stand there whenever we can, every Saturday between 11 and 1. Never before has anybody else stood anywhere. We always invite people to stand with us. It started in 2005, the Iraq War, 20 years, blah, blah. This group shows up that we'd never seen before, did not interact with us, quietly showed up, all ages, family, whatever, stood in support with different signs that didn't say too much more than we support Charlie Kirk. Nothing about the stuff that he says, and I'm sure a lot of people in here know what he promoted, what he said, and why a whole bunch of people liked him and a whole bunch of people despised what he had to say and said he spread hate. I wanted to go over and introduce her, whatever. Then Larry and I, Charlie and I were talking, we're interacting with honkers. But then there was the young man standing closer to Riverfront Park that I went over to talk to when you went by, seeing, who these people were. I went over, I was talking to him for about 10 or 15 minutes. I just felt really badly for him. He had one sign. You could, if I was from here to there, you still couldn't read what that sign said. His sign said, and he was maybe 20, he said, Charlie Kirk deserved it. One more dead fascist. And I talked to him about I've never seen him before. He's from Chippewa. And he told me he's trans. People in his family don't speak to him. I wanted to hug him because I felt so badly for him. He was in the Navy. Trump is coming into office, had gotten elected, and he saw what was coming for trans LGBTQ people, and he got out of the Navy. He got 0 benefits, and because he wasn't in there long enough, and he was afraid. And I was so sad for him, even though I said, I don't agree that violence and murdering somebody, whatever. So when you went by, I was talking to him, but before the other group left, one woman came by One woman came by from the group, I would guess maybe early to mid-40s, nice-looking woman. She introduced herself to Larry, Charlene, and I, and she said, I don't suppose we agree on very much. Now, there was an assumption she made because people think because we stand for peace that we're partisan, we're anti-Trump. We don't like Trump, but there's nothing about Trump in our corner. It's love is the way, forgiveness, blessed are the peacemakers. That's well, you've been by.
I was gonna say, I had a response for that. No, I have a response, you can sit.
Oh.
But I had a response for that when she told me that story, because I thought then, what if someone said that to me? And so I hope what I would have said is what I think, which is, well, I think we actually agree on quite a little bit. The first thing we agree on is that it's okay to stand and express for what you believe in, and that it's okay to be here and be here for what we value. I think we both agree that murder is wrong and that people should not die from gun violence. I think we agree on that. And I would have tried to have that conversation then. Like, we may have some differences of opinion, but I think we actually agree we have far more in common than we don't. So it's part of it is practicing those talks. Because when you told me the story, I'm like, I would like to hope I said something like that. Anyway, because I think life's getting harder for everyone. But there are a couple of people who told me their spouses are digging in worse. There are a couple where I hear that it is worse, not better. I've heard many stories where it's going the other way, but I've also heard some where they are more belligerent and upset than, because their ego, And we have the same thing. Our ego is tied to our stuff. I mean, we can't let go of we're just like that. In that we have our opinion, our value, what we believe, and we probably stick to it, just as much as they do. Right?
Yeah, we're right.
Huh? But I mean, you gotta get we.
Going on in the background.
Yeah.
How can I be any different? That's my religious.
Yeah, I could. And I believe they believe they're right.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, and so then it's like, how do
We gotta
we?
break that down.
Yes, exactly. Which is what, we're smart people. Can we figure this out? Yes, Cheryl.
I just want to mention something. I'm part of a small group of women who are putting together a series of what we're calling community conversations in Eau Claire. And the first one is next Tuesday, the 30th, at the public library. The topic is media and polarization. And it's set up along the guidelines from Living Room Conversations, if you're in that group, where it's a roundtable discussion of people stating what they think about 2 to 3 questions that are posed. There is no debate, there is no crosstalk. Everyone states their own opinion, and then there's another round where everyone says what they are taking away from the conversation. And the hope is, and we have reached out to the Republican Party in Eau Claire. We are trying to have a diverse group of opinions in the room, and the hope is that we can hear each other. And even if we don't agree with each other, we can see that we're coming from a lot of the same places.
We have a lot of shared values, and I think we do have a lot of the same stuff.
And
See, guys,
can I just say to that?
Yeah.
If anyone is interested in participating on Tuesday, please come and talk to me afterwards.
Got that?
Is it during the day or at night?
It is, it starts at 6 o'clock.
Which leads to the Kathleen McFerrin thing. She said that last week she was in the cities and had a group of 60 people talking about how to deal better with their families. And it was really powerful and moving. And she's offered to do sessions for us. You'll see it in another slide. So time's going fast. So I'm gonna whip through some stuff now. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna whip. And this means that you guys need to read your email better this time, because I'm gonna put stuff in there like all the media links from some of the stuff we've done and how to do some of the stuff. Okay? So here we go.
Okay.
We gotta fly now.
Okay.
All right. So the keys to success, remember, for us is growing numbers and momentum. NoKings on October 18th is the next biggest, best thing we have to grow our numbers. Last time, according to the Eau Claire Police Department, we had 4,500 people. And so what we want to do, we've got more people. For those of you who don't know, we've got more people joining than we have in a long time. I've got 25, 30 people joining, every couple of days again. So it's really picked up again. Yeah.
Are you doing March like you did last time?
We are going to do a March. The other thing we're going to do is on October 5th, at 11 o'clock at the band shell, Mike's daughter, who helped found the band Unlawful Assembly in Minneapolis and St. Paul, it's an activist chant band. She's going to come over and show us all how to use our bodies and our voices to build energy and get louder. And we're going to use like 5-gallon drums and all that kind of stuff so that we can learn how to chant and energize the crowd and build it up and all chant together. So we are going to march, but before we do that, we're going to do a bunch of chanting together. It's a Sunday. Okay? So some of you, I need a bunch of you to come and learn how to do this so that we can plant you out in the crowd with megaphones so that they can all be with us. Because can you imagine if we could get, okay, I don't know, maybe we'll have 500 people this time, who knows? But can you imagine if we get everybody shouting the same message? We tried it after talking to her last weekend. I tried it at the event on Tuesday where I had us all chant together and getting everybody going. It was really fun. So we're going to do that. And then in the second session, she's going to bring in, we're going to have people like Kurt and all the other folks who have, brass band or band experience to bring instruments and learn how to play with us and do songs. So they play some, we chant some, they play some, we chant some. And our goal is to have a band in Chippewa and Eau Claire for all of our rallies and big events to keep people excited and to get more people paying attention. Okay? What?
What time is the Chippewa one if the Eau Claire October 18th is at?
Eau Claire is at 10 a.m., Chippewa's at 4. Same as last time. Eau Claire is at 10 in the morning. And we're going to be putting up signs or posters next week. So we're going to be, like the posters we did like Hometown Heroes, we're going to ask you guys to go do the same thing with NoKings. Because this is our best way to grow now again. And remember what Brody said when everyone out talked to people about it, they were excited. They didn't even know it was us, so we want to see if we can build that again. Got lots of joiners. Loyalty shifts, Kimmel. Notice Jimmy Kimmel, we won on that. The data center in Menominee, we won on that. They paused. Public outcry. Yes. Okay, resilience and organizational discipline. We want to have a potluck. So in the email, this time and next time, tomorrow, the one, after this, it's going to say, you want to come for a potluck? We could maybe do it after the band thing. The band thing's for 2 hours from 11 to 1. We could have it at 1 o'clock the same day and just get together and have fun out there, It's just to be together and laugh. And it could also be a different day. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So if you have any interest to just sit around and laugh and no work, no bad, no discussion. Just play.
It's good food.
Just good food.
Cooking
good
is
fun.
work.
What the heck? Huh?
Cooking is work.
Buy something. Buy a bag of chips. I don't care. Okay, use a variety. And that's my thing, the talk I had earlier about, we used to do more small group stuff, but with what's going on, we're having to take bigger and bigger actions to cut in. And it's like, I'm human, I feel guilty, there's something wrong, but it's like, we gotta do this other stuff, it's too big, it's like, I can't go to school board meetings when, this is going on, when they're talking about defunding a whole city and defunding mail.
Right.
I can't get excited about it. It's like, we gotta fight the big stuff too. So we gotta keep our letters going, we gotta keep stuff going. It's not like it doesn't matter, but it's like these big, so we're just having to kind of balance. Okay, good. Build a beloved community, we already know that. Next slide, please. Hello.
That's it. That is Heather Cox Richardson.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I guess it is.
Jessica
Me too. Okay, everybody's saying that we've gotten back on the heels and we're winning, right? Just so you know, Jess Craven reached out to me today and asked me to send her some stuff on the thing we did on Tuesday. She's going to put it in extra on Sunday. Jess Craven. Who's Jess Craven? She's chopped wood, carry water. She's national. She has a practivist pond. She's huge. She is huge. She's like Hubble HCR. These are the top 3 voices in activist stuff. Yeah, she knows who we are. That's awesome. So she's like, hey, this is amazing. Send me something on it. I want to put it out. I'm like, okay. National says we're winning. Oh, the bulletproof vest. People are getting more money. Here's the thing about the money. Money was low. I went and dug around. I found a thing called Indivisigather in Indivisible. It's for things that don't have a political anything. They're just for community building. Does that sound like anything?
Like a grant?
So I sent ours in. We're going to get $1,500 back. isn't that just great? Okay. Then I found some more money for Solidarity in Action. So we got another 1,500 coming for that. For all of you who are afraid with me, so now I don't care. We can do whatever we want. You know, because there are some things I pay for. It's not, but I mean, the group is mostly self-sustaining. And there are some people in the room, you know who you are, who always contribute a lot. You do. And thank you. There are a certain bunch of faces that, and for those of you that don't, because we are Wisconsinites, Midwesterners, and we feel guilty really easy. And so for those of you who aren't, get over it. Because your time is way more important to me. The fact that you will show up on a Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock and put on a damn hazmat suit and carry a sign, my God, I love you, don't give me anything, just show up, right? That I appreciate your time so much and your commitment. So for those of you that don't have it, get over it. And for those of you that do, God bless you, you know? All right. Because I feel guilty sometimes, you know, I know.
So why would
I say something on that though?
What? Hurry
The
up.
lady next to me yesterday down in Eau Claire told me she did not come to the Oz rally because she didn't have a costume. I said, oh, please don't ever let that hold you back. I said, you did not have to have a costume. I know it was on the printed out stuff, but I just wanted
So
to
we
bring
just
that
have
up.
to tell people.
Don't need a costume ever.
The biggest problem that I have is that, you know, people always, you know, like, so-and-so said this and so-and-so, I mean, like right after the event on Tuesday, the first thing I got was an email that said, I thought the event was disappointing. I was sorry I drove from Menominee.
Oh.
That's what I went home to.
Oh.
I know. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I know, you can't please everybody. You can't, and you can't make everybody understand. I put it in newsletters, we say it to each other, we're all doing the best we can. Okay?
I'm sorry you got that message.
It was terrible. I had a terrible day. It did not improve for hours. Blah, blah, blah. And we need to turn our stuff into legislative power, which is why we're working so hard on ousting the problem, the hazardous people. Next one. Okay, the things that we did that were great, Wizard of Oz, that did really good, got us good press. Just Craven put it in extra, for those of you that didn't know. The rallies, we're doing good on those. They're getting a little smaller. You know, if we start getting the band thing going and some more chanting, we'll build some energy. We can do it. DVO is Hazardous. We made Yahoo News. I'll put this link in tomorrow. We made National, we made Yahoo News, QOW, Up North, Civic Media, and Just Craven sent the message. Awesome. Rice Lake, we've added somebody in Rice Lake. We've added someone in Walworth County. Zook, we're working on this film project just to have something fun to do. The data center's paused. And the Solidarity in Action, we have to be fast because we've all been slow. Are you ready?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so come up and tell them some of this. Come up and Amy's going to tell you guys some of this stuff. This is about the whole immigration solidarity in action thing. Okay? Be polite.
So those solidarity signs, you got them now from Indivisible?
Yes.
Correct? Okay, so just please let Cindy or me know if you're interested in helping to distribute those signs to area businesses.
There are two signs. One sign says private area that we want people to put up if they have immigrant employees so that ICE can't go back there. And then there's another sign that says Solidarity, I stand with immigrants. And we just want them to put them in the windows and start with the really left-leaning businesses first if we get a bunch up, because some of the other businesses are not going to want to be a target. Okay, so the private signs are primarily for one business and the solidarity. So if you want to do those, we have a huge list. Thank you. Sorry.
Yep, and we'll have a short training session if we needed to help any volunteers feel comfortable soliciting business support. Couple other things. So we have a confirmed date for the Unidos training, the bystander training that I mentioned a couple meetings ago. It's going to be Saturday, November 8th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Public Library in Eau Claire, the third level, Riverview Room. Monarca is creating flyers and a registration link for the event, and that should be available in a couple weeks. So we'll need a few volunteers to help set up chairs. The room has a capacity of 200, so if we get that many attendees, we will need, several volunteers to get the chairs set up and taken down in the half-hour time we have. We could also use a couple tech-savvy persons to help with the AV.
Good luck with that.
Visual. So again, let me know if you're interested. There is some training that the library provides for that room. We have to take it 2 weeks before the event. Cindy's in process of creating a website for us with resources that the Rule of Law Group has collected to help undocumented immigrants and refugees in our region. It includes know your rights information, family preparedness forms, available community services, referrals to immigrant legal services, and other information. So it should go live soon. Stay tuned for that. And then the last thing I have, which I think you're going to talk about, the rapid response.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to you.
Why is that going there? Huh, okay.
That's all I have.
Because it's open on this thing. Apoya la gente, that's what it's called. And so we're working on it now. Apoya means like be a rock. Be a rock for the
I thought it was a
people.
chicken.
Huh?
I thought that was a chicken.
Apoya, no, that's pollo. Pollo. Apoya. Yeah, support for the people. Support the people. It's really how it translates. Now, whether we end up on that or not, who knows? We're working on it. You know, it's like many things in life. You know, we're working on it. Okay. Oh, you can move that back out of the way. Blah, 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 blah. The Activist Chants Band, Sunday at October 5th. NoKings, Saturday, October 18th. I should have put 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Mending Families, there's a day she can either do Mondays or she can do Tuesdays. If you want to do that, please let me know. She's offering to do it for free, and she needs at least 10 folks. So if 10 folks want to learn more about how to do that and then expand it, I would love to get 60 or 70. It's just hard to get people to commit to 3. Okay? All right. Upstander training, we got that. The Visibility Brigade is people who are going to stand on overpasses with signs. So we're forming those. There's a link in the email if you want to be in the Visibility Brigade. And the way that's going to work is that you're going to get on a signal chat. And when there are a couple of leaders, we got a leader in Chippewa and a leader in Eau Claire. When they call for one, they're just going to send it out. And if the Spirit moves you and you want to go, you say, yeah, I'm coming. If you don't, you're busy. Okay. And for us, because we don't have a million overpasses, you know, we're not like urban areas. All you have to do is think of someplace that's visible. So maybe it's on a hill. Maybe it's someplace really visible where a lot of people go by. Visibility. And then the other thing I said to the visibility people, have somebody take a picture. Have somebody take a picture, because the thing I'm learning is, if there's no picture or video, it didn't happen. Okay? And if there is, it did. Okay, and then get it on social media, but get it to me. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And the rapid response resistance,
Will we use that rapid response resistance for, like if we have to rally the group to
The
rally?
rapid response resistance is anything that shows up, like the DVO thing and immigration. It's anything, and it'll come with clarity, but it'll say like, hey, because like this thing we did on Tuesday, I had 3 days notice. To put that together. You know, okay, I'll do it. You know, so I want to tell you that the people from Madison and DC that were working with us said it's the best action they had for the entire year. But it's small, and I'm sorry I came from a nominee. But I mean, they said we love this action. This is the best action we have. It was the most visual. We got the most coverage. We got national. They are super happy, which makes me super happy. And I say, I got the best people. They are so awesome. They show up, because you guys show up with almost no notice. But that is cool. So this rapid response is anything that shows up like this. It might be a DEI thing. It might be a thing for Mayo. You know, you heard Van Orden came out after said he was going to defund Mayo. Yeah. Because one of the employees said something he didn't like. Yeah, so now he's going to defund Mayo, the only hospital we have. You guys don't know this?
Yeah.
This man.
I think that's a losing battle for him.
Yeah, this man.
That is not a good message.
But this whole hazardous thing works really well. Derek Van Orden is hazardous to our communities, hazardous to our healthcare, hazardous to our veterans, hazardous to our schools. And you know, just so you know, I got 10 of those hazmat suits, so anybody who wants to wear them, we have those in the signs, and they're good, because they tag to him. So, yeah, Abby.
Yeah, I know I kind of messaged you about that situation with Mayo. Mayo is well aware of that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that one of the people, DC Madison folks said, you guys, why don't we go do outside Mayo? And let's have it, we'll see if the doctors want to. And I said, you know, we got a couple people there, let me ask them. And Abby talked to the admin. She did. She was courageous and went in and had a big chat. they're like, no. Because they did something in Osseo and it blew up and they had backlash because
Well, I
of
think
it.
when the group came to Osseo, and they had like it was a rally in support of the hospital in Osseo. But remember when the big beautiful bill came out that Osseo was on the chopping block list?
Yeah.
Well, look what happened to Sacred Heart last year when that happened. Like the employees there are like, what is Mayo hiding from us? Like it blew up. Admin, all the bigwigs had to go down there. I mean, it was so. I mean, of course people are going to be nervous. Like they just lost a big hospital system.
So just so you know, we do balance what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That wasn't our group, by the way. That was
No, it was not us.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, like, I reached out because they said, can we do this? And I'm like, I'm sure we can. Let me make sure we can. No, we can't. You know? Can you? Yes. Can we? No. No. Okay. I'm sorry, we can't.
The other thing is the hospital is so busy. There's
Yeah.
so much stuff going on there all the time. I mean, I think it's just, it's
Well,
great that we have the support, but it's just like, it's a distraction and it might become a danger.
That's fine. So we may do another healthcare thing because we have the Dairy Van Orden is hazardous to our healthcare.
We should.
We just may not do it here. Maybe we'll do it in front of Sacred Heart. Maybe we'll do it in front of St. Joe's. Maybe we'll see what we're gonna do. Okay? The other thing, the ABC story is coming out. They were here on Tuesday and they did interview Dr. Didion. They interviewed the Jamie and Eric. They interviewed Jody Emerson about the heliopad that's going in because we have to transport so many more people distance. And Carolyn and Gary, their story's gonna be coming out. So just see, when that breaks, when this story comes out and this breaks, we're gonna pop something again. You guys gotta know, because we're always looking for something to trigger so people are paying attention. So
We could do Stanley, they're potentially on the chopping block.
we could, yeah, yep. So, okay, so the main thing I want you to know about the rapid response, when you're signing up for this, all you're signing up is to be put on the signal chat and to be alerted when something's happening so you can decide. It's up to you. Same thing with Visibility Brigade. You're being put on a signal chat that when somebody's doing something, we're doing this in Eau Claire at this location at this time. Let us know if you can come. And I did in the newsletter, if you look. If you're not getting the newsletter, please give me your email address so you can get it. But I put a thing in there, how to make lighted signs using Christmas tree lights, which I think as it's getting darker now, that's gonna be useful. We are gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do. I'm reaching out to Scott, who was the head of Wisconsin for 6 years, to find out what they did in the winter. What you guys do in the winter? So I think he's gonna know, because I sure don't. Okay? Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Da 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 da. Up. Can you just go up one? That's down. Up. There we go. I want to see if there's anything here. Blah 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 blah. No, down. That's down. Okay, good. Action groups. Anybody who's in an active action group, the big thing, it's so funny because one of the things I felt really bad, like our action groups were lame, because I had heard that there were like 5 or 6 active people in each group. So then I talked to the folks at Citizen Action, and I talked to the folks at some of the other groups, and I found out our numbers are actually better. Okay? Like the number of people we have participating is better, the number of people we have rallying is better, and the number of people we have in our action groups is actually better. So, whilst we think it is lame, we are actually doing okay. Yes, we could use more, and we want more, and we will shift to try and get this back going again. So, but I'm not doing it tonight because it's already late. We should all be going home. Anybody got anything to say? Yes, Jean.
October 5th, where is that again?
Right there. At the band shell.
Right here, right here.
And even if you don't want to learn how to do it, come and be in the audience and cheer with us.
Where is it? The
thing like, oh, here, let me show you.
chanting?
Yeah, can I show you?
Yeah.
The sound is going to be really bad. I'm almost done, you guys. Seriously, I
Like a
swear.
hand drum. The drum. That should work.
Hey,
I have a
right here. There. Okay, I guarantee you that this is going to sound bad. Okay? But this gives you an idea of what we are going to look like. You get what we're gonna do? Okay. We are gonna do this. We wanna blow those corners in Eau Claire and Chippewa. We want everybody going by to hear our messages. So we are gonna get some instruments going, not the first time, but we're gonna get some drums and some volume, and we're gonna beat our chests, and we're gonna scream from the tops of the roofs, okay?
Yeah.
Carolyn's like, get me out of here. It's just crazy. So I'm excited. That's October 5th at the band show. And again, the main thing I want is if we have a lot of people who show up for NoKings, if we do, I want to have people planted in the crowd so that when we start to chant, somebody's out there boosting. Okay? So we can get all the voices with us. Can you imagine if we had that many voices with the same message?
So October 5th.
Music is always good.
Sunday. It's a Sunday at 11 a.m. She initially asked me if I would bring everybody to the cities, and I said I would. Well, actually, first I asked her if she would come and do it for us, and she says we have to do it over there. And they only do activist stuff. Same thing for Forward in Madison. And so then I said, will you come and teach us? And she said, will you bring them to the cities? I'm like, yes, I will load up vans. We will come. She goes, never mind, I'll come to you. So we're going to do it right out here at the band show. Okay? So come learn, bring friends, bring as many people as you can so you know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's at 11?
11. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. We are going to make this battle more fun. I am not having enough fun. I am loud enough. Do you know what Toby Morris said, the guy from WQOW? I heard him say to someone, my God, I was down around the block and I could hear Cindy, and I thought she was on a megaphone, and I looked up and she wasn't. I heard him say that. I was just like, yeah. He said, you know, I grew up on a farm. We had to call the kids. They were in the woods. You know? Okay. Thank you all for being here. Yes, Carl.
Just going back to earlier, if we are looking at having every other meeting here and in Eau Claire, if we look at our ages that are here, what we need is more people, and older people would be nice. So if we were in Eau Claire, I would hope that the indivisible people that you talk to at the university would maybe be able to.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for.
So,
I do think a lot more old folks come up, but that I thought if we tried to start doing both cities, that we could boost our numbers and get our ages going. So, yeah.
Just quick from the health action group, we're kind of getting that revitalized. I do have an action item for all of you guys. With all of the crazy guidance coming out for vaccines, call your insurance company and ask if they're covering the COVID vaccine. And if they aren't, ask why. Because all of the reputable medical organizations are still recommending it, including Wisconsin VHS.
Thank you, Abby. Any other group want to say something? I really do think we need to revitalize also for next week. I just have to tell you, I haven't set our meeting for next week yet. We are meeting next week. Please watch stuff. I usually send something out the day before, but it's because we were having this talk and am I trying to split and all that? So if I am, then I'm going to start doing that. And you guys want to move to Saturdays, or do you want to stay nights in October?
I like nights.
Nights?
Nights through October.
Yeah.
Nights through October, and then November, December, pick up Saturday days.
Why don't we want to stay at night? Just
Because it's hard for people who have distance. We have some people who come, yeah.
Well, and with the
And time change and chores and stuff like that, it gets hard for them.
it's getting
weekends are so busy.
Hey, get over here. Okay, one more thing. Okay, you guys are free to go.
Okay.
Thanks.